Welcome to the soft launch of my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Timelapse, and I have a mathematical background. I'm a very competitive player. I'm approaching 5,000 trophies. I used to be a competitive Call of Duty player, and I'm very active on Reddit. As you can see, I play a lot of grand challenges, and if you've ever read my posts, they usually center around strategy. With a mathematical background and being very analytical, I'm always looking to improve, and based on the tremendous feedback I've had from Reddit, specifically Viking Victory, Chronic Demonic, as well as my clan, Alan, Tommy Titan, and Fish, who introduced me to the game, I wanted to give back in a special way, so I've been inspired to start this YouTube channel. You could say I've been very inspired by OJ. Being that I like to optimize, I see that what he has done is very positive for the game and for the community. The focus of my channel will be helping others, improving, highlighting strategy, and highlighting gameplay, especially high-level gameplay. So what I want to do is share with you first a few decks that I've been using. This is the deck that I've been using both on ladder and challenges, and finally my Dark Goblin got above level 7, so it's been viable on both. I'm a huge player of the Graveyard. I really like the card. I think it may be a little bit broken, but it's, for right now, very exciting. Maybe a fix would be to have them cycle in a clockwise or counterclockwise fashion, spawning one at a time in that way rather than random. Another deck that I've been using on ladder is the Rocket Inferno Tower variation. Because of all the elixir collectors, the Rocket is very beneficial, and because of the tanks, the Inferno Tower does a really good job. You have to have some sort of a tank killer, and if you're not going to run Elite Barbarians, Inferno Tower does the job. Another variant that I used that actually got me to 4922 was the Freeze variation of Graveyard. At the time, my card levels were a little bit lower, so it was still very viable, and even now, so I think it's even stronger. This has been my favorite battle deck lately, though. We're going to jump into some replays. The first one we're going to watch, there are plenty of mistakes made. It's probably one of the easiest games to commentate over because of all the mistakes, and it's easy to point out. However, during play, I may not have noticed, so I want to look back and see what went well and what went wrong. Right away, he starts with a Mega Minion from the back. Given his starting hand, that was probably the optimum play. My response using the Dark Goblin was probably not the best choice. Seeing that he dropped his Elixir Collector, I dropped an Ice Golem. Seeing that he didn't instantly Fireball, I dropped the Elite Barbarians. Because he didn't Fireball right away, he was only able to clip one of my Elite Barbarians rather than both. I don't think it would have mattered because they still got the same amount of tower damage. He dropped his Skeleton Army, and I dropped this Graveyard a little bit too soon. I didn't get the full value of the Mega Minion that I could have. However, he made a mistake by playing his Mega Minion. His archers could have countered the Skeleton Army and my Mega Minion, and he would have taken the same amount of tower damage and had 3 elixir more. Seeing his archers coming closer, I'm trying to think of a response, and the Dark Goblin seems to be the cheapest option. Seeing that he played the Elixir Collector a little too close to the other one, I threw a Fireball. Sensing I'm low in elixir, he tried to rush me with Elite Barbarians, so I dropped my favorite counter, Ice Golem to kite, and Mega Minion to kill. They are a little bit over leveled, so they got one shot on my tower. Overall, I think it was a success, because my left tower is not as weak as my right tower. Here I make a huge mistake. I tried to zap an Elixir Collector that was no longer there, and I missed the skeletons. If I hadn't missed those skeletons, I'm pretty confident that his tower would have probably dropped lower than his right tower, but we'll never know. Seeing this golem coming at me, and because of my failed zap on the other side, he's able to bank some elixir and form a tremendous push to take down my tower. This Dark Goblin placement was very clever. It was used to take down this Mega Minion, and then he had to Fireball, which might have been a little bit of a misplay. He didn't need to use the elixir there. My Elite Barbarians do work, and once again he tries to rush me with his, and I once again counter with Ice Golem Mega Minion. However, this time there's only one tower targeting. I got a little bit lucky with a Graveyard dropped right at a Golem, and then I zapped to kill his Skeleton Army, so he's very low in elixir. This Fireball is really important. It takes down the archers and some tower damage, but what it does is keeps my Elite Barbarians that were severely weakened strong enough to get to the tower and take it down. forcing him to fireball to get rid of some of the Elite Barbarian health that was coming at him. He's a little bit lower on Elixir, so I have an advantage. Again, I drop a perfectly timed Graveyard, and look how much damage this Dark Goblin does to his Golem. 2 skeletons come over and help. 3 skeletons come over and help. And it takes it all the way down to half. So I'm pretty confident that these Elite Barbarians are going to be able to work it out. Right now we're even on Elixir, and I dropped this Mega Minion, sensing that he was going to play something from the center. However, I didn't realize he only had heavy cards. This bowler gets a little bit aggressive. I thought it would clip the tower twice, but it only clipped once. However, at this point I can zap Fireball down the tower. However, not realizing how much Elixir I had, I made a little bit of a misplay and dropped Graveyard instead, but as soon as I cycled to my Fireball, the game was over. So as you can see, there were plenty of mistakes in that game, plenty of room for improvement, and hopefully next time I learn from my mistakes and I make it a little bit higher up the ladder. We're going to jump into another game. This game, the rocket actually surprised me when he used it. I wasn't prepared for it. Again, the first play is always a difficult one to make. Given the starting hand I have 2 options. I can play a bowler in whatever side he decides to go for, or I can play a Dark Goblin towards the front to try and get some sneaky damage off. I play my bowler. He plays a hog. He pig pushes. I have no building. He doesn't know this, but my Elite Barbarians are able to shred his hog, and he only gets 1 shot off. After all of these counters, I'm left with a 2 elixir advantage, and he has 1 shot on my tower. Overall, I think that was a positive trade for me, because as a hog user, you want to get more than 1 shot off. If you only get 1 shot off each time, you're probably not going to end up winning the game without a few spells. I get the 10 elixir and I have to play a card, so I drop a Mega Minion. And the reason why I went to the left side is I didn't want to get it caught with a spell. I got very aggressive with a Fireball, but I ended up getting a prediction there. He gets scared because of that zap, knowing that he's going to take a lot of damage. He drops a cannon. However, that cannon wasn't far enough forward to draw my Mega Minion, so I got 2 shots in on the left, and it wasn't far enough to the right to actually counter what I had. Being a little bit low in elixir, I'm forced to just use an Ice Golem so that it doesn't freeze everything, and a Mega Minion, trying to get a counter push. However, he plays a really good Musketeer right here, negating all the damage and destroying my whole push. At this point, I have an elixir advantage of 2. He drops his Ice Golem. I drop a bowler. He's trying to get value out of his Musketeer. I'm trying to get value out of my bowler at this point. However, I didn't know that he had a rocket. It was a little bit of a misplay for him to wait, and he could have probably gotten some more damage out of that Musketeer, but we'll never know. I drop a sneaky push. Sensing that he didn't have a suitable counter, I drop my Dark Goblin and my Graveyard. Him not realizing once again with his cannon placement, my Dark Goblin is able to take down his cannon. I begin to overflow an elixir, and I'm really looking for the prediction Fireball, hoping that something's going to spawn behind this Golem. Nothing does, and I end up having to Fireball his tower. Once again, I play my troops a little too close for comfort, and they get rocketed. So, a little bit of a misplay there. I should have remembered that he had a rocket, but I didn't. Here comes a sneaky push again with this Dark Goblin. It does some good work against those skeletons, and he's forced to play a cannon. My skeletons down there ended up getting a little bit more damage than I thought they would, and I could have fireballed, but I used a Mega Minion, wasted. We're going into overtime, and I know that a hog deck is not as good in overtime compared to my deck. He gets a little aggressive with this push right here, not realizing that one of my towers is down, so he's only going to get 2 shots off because my king tower is going to assist. I go in for the kill push. He's trying to prepare for it. Watch this bowler knock back the musketeer into the fireball. Clutch. At this point, I feel like the game is over. I zap. His cannon's a little bit too late. I give him a good game, and that's about as good as it gets in overtime. Overall, mistakes were made throughout the game, but I ended up improving upon my plays and taking down the tower. I look forward to following some of your progress, and I look forward to hearing about it in the comment section below. I'm always happy to help. There are a couple of spots in our clan. If you're looking to join a clan that's looking to help, I'm sure other members of our clan would be more than happy to analyze your gameplay and help you improve. Again, a special thank you to everybody on Reddit, especially the mods. They have been very helpful for me, and the Discord chat for always being there to keep me going.